You get paid to be out here?
Yeah.
Amazing. So it's a path.
You really are getting paid for this?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Definitely. 100% I'm getting paid for this. Yeah, I get paid to be out here.
You get paid to be out here?
Yeah.
Democrat propaganda machine so fired up to destroy me. That's the main reason. The main reason is that entitlements fraud. That includes like Social Security, disability, Medicaid. Entitlements fraud for illegal aliens is what is serving as a gigantic magnetic force to pull people in from all around the world and keep them here. Like basically, if you pay people at a standard of living that is above 90% of Earth, then you have a very powerful incentive for 90% of Earth to come here and to stay here. But if you end the illegal alien fraud, then you turn off that magnet, and they leave, and they stop coming, and the ones that are here, many of them will simply leave. And if that happens, they will lose a massive number of Democratic voters.
And if it didn't happen, they would turn those people into voters.
Correct.
Which they were trying to do.
They're already turning them. So in New York State, illegal aliens can already vote in state and city elections. A lot of people don't know that. They're trying to fight that, they're trying to stop that, but they're currently, I think it's like 600,000 are registered to vote, illegal aliens in New York.
That is wild.
Yeah, Democrat propaganda machine.
You get paid to be out here?
Yeah.
Amazing. So it's a path.
You really are getting paid for this?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Definitely. 100% I'm getting paid for this. Yeah, I get paid to be out here.
You get paid to be out here?
Yeah.
I think it's the biggest scam of all time.
Yeah.
The biggest scam of all
Ever.
time, ever.
Of human history.
Of human history, yes.
Wow.
There's never been $1 trillion scam. My guess is that probably saves $100 billion a year.
Jesus Christ. Where was that money going?
So this is where you get into the sort of gray boundary between waste and fraud. If money is sent to a person or organization from the government, and you didn't really deserve it, but the government still sent it to you, is that waste or fraud?
Right.
There's a lot of payments where someone just approved the payment, but then that payment officer changed jobs or retired or died. It's like if you forget to pay your gym membership or something like that.
Right.
Now imagine it's not the gym membership. You said your gym membership's $20 billion a year or something, but they forgot to turn it off. I think it's the biggest scam of all time.
Ew.
The biggest scam of all
Ever.
time, ever.
Of human history.
Of human history, yes.
Wow.
There's never been $1 trillion scam. How do people in, Congress or whatever become wealthy over time?
Extremely wealthy.
Yes,
On a $170,000 a year salary.
it's like literally impossible.
Yeah. No one else does that.
It's literally impossible.
If you
So-
find out that this guy has a $170,000 a year job, you're like, oh, he's doing okay. He's all right.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait a minute, why does he have $50 million?
Yes.
What is he doing?
For illegal aliens, the agency that was paying for illegal aliens to stay at luxury hotels in New York was FEMA. That's an agency that's meant to support Americans in distress from natural disasters, was paying for luxury hotels for illegals in New York. They're literally, like, when we stopped that payment, we stopped all those money, because that's obviously an insane way to spend taxpayer money. New York sued the federal government to get the money. You can just look at their lawsuit. They were sending that money even after President Trump signed an executive order saying it needs to stop. They still pressed send on $80 million to luxury hotels in New York. Your tax money went to pay for legal aliens in luxury hotels in New York from an agency that is meant to help Americans in distress from natural disasters.
And I would like to know how much they spent on North Carolina and how much they spent on Maui.
The agency that was paying, there was a case where we saw one person was getting $1.9 billion sent to their NGO, which basically got formed about a year ago and had no prior, no prior activity. So they just stand up a NGO. The whole NGO thing is a nightmare, and it's a misnomer, because if you have a government-funded non-governmental organization, you're simply a government-funded organization. It's an oxymoron.
Right. It's a loophole.
Yes, it basically, the government-funded NGOs are a way to do things that would be illegal if they were the government, but are somehow made legal if it's sent to a so-called nonprofit. But these nonprofits are then used to, people cash out these nonprofits. They become very wealthy through nonprofits. They pay themselves enormous sums through these nonprofits.
It's so insane that that's been going on for so long.
It's a gigantic scam. Stuff that they lose in the couch cushions is like $20-30 billion a year. They don't know where it went. It's gone.
36 trillion debt is unsustainable. If we don't get that under control, this will be the United States of China. China West.
What it looks like is that most of the fraud is not coming from Social Security payments directly, but because they're marked as alive in the Social Security database, that they can then get disability, unemployment, sort of fake medical payments and other things, because they're marked as alive in the Social Security database. So it looks like it's a bank. The fraud is a bank shot, essentially. They bank shot into Social Security. They just do an "Are you alive?" check, and then get fraudulent payments from every other part of the government.
Oh.
And this exploits the fundamental weakness in the government is that the various government databases, they don't talk to each other. They talk to each other very poorly, in a very limited way. So the way that the system gets exploited is by taking advantage of the poor communication between the various databases in the government.
Doge has uncovered the biggest money laundering scheme in the history of this country. $1 trillion money laundering scheme. Those that are hollering the loudest are the guilty parties. Those that are yelling the most slander want it to stop so they don't get caught.